Good evening. My name is Preston.
And my name is Jacob.
How many of you find yourselves tapping your toes, biting your nails, or bouncing your leg? Jacob, it seems that many Americans fidget on a daily basis. It is seen as a way to process and learn new information.
Why do we fidget? It seems it helps us learn, especially when those who have ADHD, such as myself today, more and more students fidget and we are diagnosed with ADHD. Oh god, that was wrong. Students have shown that students are expected to sit for longer periods of time with less and less movement throughout the day, school day.
Fidgeting is a response to anxiety or boredom. Anxious fidgeting occurs because the body has elevated levels of stress hormones, which are prepping your muscles for sudden exertion. Boredom fidgeting, such as drumming your fingers or pen spinning, gives your brain something to focus on.
In recent studies, the importance of movement and sensory input while learning plays an important role of academic growth and enhanced learning when fidgets are introduced. In documented cases, a 6th grade class was observed using a type of fidget, such as a stress ball. While completing an academic task, the students' academic learning increased. Students who use a stress ball when used during a writing assignment increased from 73% to 83%. Students that were diagnosed with ADHD and used a stress ball, their writing increased by 27%.
One of the main reasons fidgeting works for kids with ADHD is because they find comfort in repetition and repeating sounds or movements, if it is the only other thing to do. It has also been found that kids with ADHD need to have two things happening at the same time to process and learn. In other cases, kids will fool with the stress ball and either drop, throw, or in any other way use it to play around and to also distract them.
That's interesting, Preston. I guess adults and students should use a fidget toy to help them have simple movement around that will help them do better at school and work. ADD is short for Attention Deficit Disorder. ADD is now considered the same as ADHD. There are 3 types of ADD. Type 1, inattentive but non-hyperactive or impulsive. Hyperactive and impulsive but able to pay attention, which is type 2. Type 3 is inattentive, hyperactive, and impulsive, which is the most common form of ADHD. What is ADHD? It stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Certain areas of the brains were also small, such as their frontal lobes, impulse control, inhibition, motor activity, and concentration. They also have different neural pathways in different areas of the brain: impulsive behavior, attention, inhibition, and motor activity. We got our sites from healthline.com, number overview 1, and a YouTube video. Hello and welcome. I am Jacob Sinner.
And I am Zachary Dunbar. In today's weather phenomena segment, we will be discussing Hurricane Aaron.
Is that the hurricane that missed New York City on 9/11, 2001?
Why, yes it is. Although it didn't make landfall, it took a hard right turn, thus narrowly missing the city.
Now, what was that? Why didn't the hurricane make landfall?
Well, the day before, there had been some cold fronts and several storms. It cooled the water, and the hurricane, which needs warm water, either started to weaken or would have to change direction.
So when the warm water goes upstream with the hurricane, does it help it, or does it just...
That makes need warm water. Warm water is its fuel. It also helps strengthen the storm. The more time the system spends over warm water, the stronger it becomes. The water evaporates, condensing into clouds and then rain. As this happens, it warms the air, and as it rushes up, more warm, moist air spirals up to replace it.
Okay, I think I get it now. The water vapor is what makes up the visible part of the hurricane.
Well, yes, but I mean, oh, yes, that's true. Now, I could go into more detail about this, but unfortunately we were running out of time. So this is Zachary Dunbar.
And I am Jacob Center, signing off.
Speaking of notes in ADHD, studies have shown that music can have a positive effect for children with ADHD. Listening to music increases dopamine in the brain.
This neurotransmitter helps with attention working, memory, and motivation. Concentration and increased mood can result from the release of dopamine in the brain while listening to music.
By listening to the expected rhythm, you are not trying to figure out what the next note. Instead, it allows the mind to focus on one task that you need.
Music works by releasing dopamine to a higher level than one may have, thus helping you concentrate more. Music also helps provide structure, which is soothing to an ADHD brain struggling to regulate itself.
The structure helps the ADHD child plan to anticipate and react. Students with a high level of arts participation outperform arts poor students on virtually every measure, based on an analysis of the Department of Education's database of 25,000 students.
Professor James S. Catterall found that involvement with the arts correlates with success in other subjects and developing positive attitudes about community. This correlation is particularly strong between music success and math.
Incentive involvement in a single discipline should probably be thought to be an even more important developmentally than high levels of more diverse involvement in the arts.
A Columbia University study focuses on youngsters who exhibit very high levels of involvement within a single arts discipline over the secondary school years. Researchers report explorations of differences shown by students who were heavily involved in instrumental music.
Students concentrating in instrumental music do substantially better in mathematics than those who not involved in music. Also, low socioeconomic status students with high involvement in music do better than the average student at attaining high levels of mathematic proficiency.
Twice as many low socioeconomic status 8th graders in band and or orchestra score a high level in mathematics, as did low social economic students, students 8th graders with no reported involvement in instrumental music.